On behalf of the board of the Philippine Bayanihan Society in Singapore, I welcome you to the Bayanihan Center. The Bayanihan Center has opened its doors to support the educational, social and cultural needs of Filipinos and others in Singapore. Thanks to the strong partnership between the government of the Philippines and Singapore and the initiative of our founding president, Ms. Jenny Chua, and Vice President, Mr. 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗲. Since its establishment in 2001, more than 13,500 people have undergone skills training at the Bayanihan Center. But the Bayanihan Center is located at 43 Pasir Panjang Road. It provides classrooms, facilities and support for volunteers and community groups to conduct various short-term courses including basic and advanced computer training, nursing aid, hotel and restaurant management, dressmaking, caregiving, cooking, and baking and cosmetology. To foster the socio-cultural ties between Filipinos and Singaporeans, we also organize the Bayanihan Walk. It is an annual event to bring together people from all across sectors of Singapore in a fun walkathon to promote integration of Filipinos with the Singaporean community. Tara na mak, Bayanihan Center na.
Miss Minnie, please unmute.
Good evening to all our viewers here in Singapore and in Asia. And good morning or good afternoon to everyone across the globe. Greetings to you, our friends, partners, and supporters. Kumusta na po kayong lahat? And welcome to the Bayanihan Talks webinar series. I am 𝗍𝗲𝗍𝗍𝗍, a member of the board of the Philippine Bayanihan Society Singapore, and your host tonight. And I hope you have enjoyed the short video giving you a peek of what the Philippine Bayanihan Society in Singapore is all about and what it does. That's been done a few years ago, so the numbers would have increased by now. The society is a non-profit organization and all the directors are volunteers who care for the OFWs in Singapore. And yes, it's already 2024, a leap year. And it is also the 5th year we have been holding these educational and informative talks about life, family, finances, health, and other matters that are important to our OFWs. April is here, one of the hottest months in this part of the world. So ingat po kayo at ingat tayo sa UV rays ng araw. Medyo mataas po ang UV index, especially at midday between like 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Kung lalabas po kayo around this time, ang advice po ng Singapore's Ministry of Health, and the National Environment Agency is to use sunscreen of at least SPF 30 and use an umbrella when you go out, 6 shades. Wear sunglasses that block UVA and UVB rays, and wear a hat-brimmed hat just to cover your face. Wear sunglasses too. So please try this, or we listen to the advice of the agencies to reduce or avoid the harmful effects of UV rays to our skin and eyes. So ingat po kayo. Please do take care, for health is wealth. So again, just the latest update on the Singapore side. But tonight, we are truly blessed and very privileged to have a very experienced motivational speaker, life coach, and a human resource specialist who will talk about self-mastery, learning personal leadership. She will share with us on how we can discover and exercise our willpower, develop our own ability to control ourselves in many different situations. As you know, sometimes we forget and we just do things without thinking first, and making positive changes in our lives. Our guest speaker is Ms. Mel Rose Angeles, Cluster Director of Human Capital and Development at Pan Pacific and PARKROYAL Service Suites here in Singapore. She has a bachelor's degree in psychology at Far Eastern University. Miss Mel Rose started her career at the ASCOT, where she spent more than 13 years and left it as head of HR for Singapore's operations. And during the last 10 years since 2014, she has been with the Pan Pacific Hotels Group as the director, and then now as the cluster director for human capital and development. Miss Rose is a HR professional with over 20 years, and her experience in human capital and development. She is also not just doing that, but she is also spending time in volunteer work, where she has been actively involved in her alumni community. She served as the vice president of the alumni group for Ateneo Leadership and Social Entrepreneurship, which we call ALSE, from 2019 to 2020, which is a testament to her commitment to her educational roots. In 2021, she transitioned into a role within the Education Committee, further demonstrating her dedication to nurturing future talent. In addition to her corporate accomplishments, Mel Rose has been actively volunteering as well with the Philippine Embassy in Singapore as a certified trainer for reintegration program aimed at ensuring all overseas Filipino workers and their families to be fully equipped with knowledge and skills before and after they leave their home country. The program is under the purview of the Department of Migrant Workers and the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration in Singapore. Indeed, we are so blessed and privileged to have Miss Mel Rose. So without any further ado, that's a long one, may I invite Miss Mel Rose Angeles to take the floor. Miss Mel Rose, the floor is yours.
Hello, magandang gabi. Ayan. Magandang gabi or magandang umaga or kung nasaan mang parte kayo ng mundo. It's always a privilege to be able to be invited dito sa ating webinar na ino-organize ng Bayanihan Center. And today, ang ating topic is about self-mastery. And I believe that this is something that would be able to help every one of you if you really wanted to move up your career into a different level. Yeah, so yun ang ating pag-uusapan today. Yeah. All right. So when we talk about self-mastery, so what do you think, what you can, when you hear the word self-mastery, what do you have in mind? So probably you are going to picture somebody like martial arts master, yung ang galing mag-karate or martial arts, right? So because the characteristics of a martial art master, they are actually very calm. They are also very focused, and at the same time, they are actually in control at all times. Or maybe, other people na, for their lives, it's really like well planned and they are really in control of their own future. Do you see this trait on regular basis sa inyo? Or do you feel that you are in control of your career and your goals? Or like many other people, do you feel that you should take more control of your actions and your emotions as well? So in today's webinar, we are going to examine what self-mastery is, and we are going to look at what you can do to develop within yourself. All right, so let's find out more. So let us uncover what self-mastery is. So when you have developed self-mastery, you have the ability to control yourself in all situations. And you can actually move forward consciously and steadily towards your goals, and definitely you know your purpose. And you have the self-discipline needed to actually do things in a deliberate, focused, and honorable way. I wanted to just highlight those keywords, yeah? So what are the keywords here? Number one is ability. Number two is consciously and steadily. And I think what is more important here is you know your purpose. And at the same time, self-discipline as well. So we are going to dissect this or break this down in order for us to understand more. So when you have developed all these self-mastery, it is important that we're able to actually master our emotions, our impulses, and our actions. And it is vital if you want to achieve your goals in life. All right. So think about the people you know that, you don't have any self-mastery. They are probably impulsive and rash. Ito yung mga tao na medyo hindi sila masyadong conscious of themselves. So the tendency of them is they actually very impulsive, or perhaps they are quite rude in that sense. So if you demonstrate, or when you demonstrate self-mastery at work, you actually prove to your colleagues that you have the inner strength and steadiness needed for effective leadership. So it is actually worth the effort that you are going to invest developing self-mastery, and you will likely become a balanced person, and you will definitely find opportunities that would arise because of this. All right, so definitely it's important that we are able to demonstrate this. All right, so yeah, so ayan, so hindi ko na masyadong elaborate because it's actually there already. So we are going to look at developing self-mastery, right? So self-mastery is a very broad term that conveys or covers many aspects of your personal and professional life. Developing self-mastery can mean working on many different areas, but take note that you can actually just look at probably one or two areas at a time so that you won't be overwhelmed as well. So let's look at these areas of your life that you can develop self-mastery with. There are actually three here that we are going to discuss. First is goals, focus, attitude, and emotions. Tatlo lang muna yung ating pag-uusapan dito, yeah? So let's look at goals, right? So goals, self-mastery starts with the vision of how you want your life to be. Think about the people that you know who have incredible self-discipline. Chances are they know exactly where they want to go in life, and this vision gives them the strength to get there. Whereas self-discipline, this is the ability to push yourself forward. Stay motivated, and this person will actually take action regardless of how you are feeling physically or emotionally. That is why it's so important to start with a clear vision of your short-term and long-term objectives. The clearer you are about what you want to achieve in life, the easier it is to move forward calmly and confidently. To start setting goals, let us brainstorm what you would like to achieve in different areas, such as your career, your education, family, or personal finances. Ang daming aspect that you can actually look at. As mentioned ko kanina, so for you to be able to just have some sort of a focus, it's good for you to look at one or two aspects muna. Yeah? So you have to actually set your goals on different number of levels. First, you have to create, your big picture. What you want to do with your life over the next 10 years, maybe. Break this down into smaller targets to hit your lifetime goals. Once you have your plan, start working on it. And there are actually steps in actually setting these goals. So in setting lifetime goals, let's look at the career, right? So let's look at, as an example, your career. What level do you want to reach in your career? Or what do you want to achieve? By when would you like to go back for good? Yung mga gustong nagpaplano, long lifetime, gusto nang bumalik sa Pilipinas for good. Have we really decided, or have we thought about it already? All right. When we talk about financial, how much do you want to earn? And by what stage? And how is this related to your goals? Or how much do you want to earn before you decide to go back for good, not just to earn, or probably savings that you are actually looking into? That is lifetime goals. Physical, let's look at physical. Do you want to deep dive into wanting a good, healthy lifestyle or healthy living? What steps do you take right now? Do you exercise? Do you visit doctor, and how often do we do that? Pleasure. Let's look at pleasure, right? How do you want to enjoy yourself? Do you want to travel? So these are some of the things that perhaps hindi natin masyadong pinag-uusapan or hindi natin talaga inuupuan at pinaplano kung ano ang gusto natin sa ating lifetime. So as you do this, make sure that the goals that you have set are the ones that you genuinely want to achieve, not the ones that your family wants, or perhaps yan yung gusto ng employer mo, or kung may partner ka, yan ang gusto ng partner. It is important that these are the goals that you really want, because this is something that would really affect your life. Next, setting smaller goals. Once you have set your lifetime goals, right? Like you set it to a 5-year or smaller goals, then create a 1-year progressively. Huwag mong biglain kasi baka mamaya ma-overwhelm tayo. Importantly, it is important really that we create a to-do list. And finally, review your plans. Make sure that they fit the way in which you want to live your life. So yan yung aspects ng goals. So as mentioned ko kanina, looking at lifetime goals and then set smaller goals. Yan yung ating dapat tingnan. Let's move on to the next, which is focus. How many times have you tried to focus on certain tasks only to find that your mind is wandering? Parang ang layo ng iniisip natin and nawawala tayo sa focus. What does it mean? We have to ensure that we have to avoid distractions. All right? So let's look at your environment. All right? So environment is looking at your personal work environment. For example, if you are working in a company, are you able to really concentrate properly? So if hindi, so there are cases where mas nakaka-calm tayo, ano, or na medyo nako-comfort tayo. If we can see some natural scene or landscape, yung may mga picture frame or yung mga design na mas nakakalma tayo, parang ganyan. Or if you are working from home, it is always good to establish a defined workspace. Saan yung definite workspace mo where you can actually have some sort of a focus. Next is nutrition. Start your day with healthy breakfast. Ito yung laging sinasabi. Matagal na nating naririnig ito, ano? Kasi it is harder to concentrate if you are hungry, isn't it? So sabi nga ni Miss Minerva kanina, ang init daw ngayon, ano? So you have to drink more water. Kasi baka ma-dehydrate tayo, and dehydration can actually make us feel tired, and it makes us very irritable. So it's also good for us to move around or get a regular exercise. Next is mindset. Some of the guidelines that you can follow is you have to set aside time to deal with worries. Focus on one task at a time and prioritize your to-do list. Avoid distractions, sabi ko dito sa focus, ano? Kasi nga, how do we spend our time? Mas nanonood ba tayo ng Netflix every day? Like, I'm not saying na wag tayong manood ng Netflix or Korean dramas and so on. However, we can actually just schedule a time where we can do this, because if we are so focused, we can actually focus more on learning new skills. Marami naman diyang mga online resources na free. That is what I am trying to drive at here. The next one, or the third one, is attitude and emotions. Focus on something positive every day. Having gratitude and positive outlook will actually set the tone for the rest of the day. Important, control your emotions. We all have to deal with negative emotions, and learning how to cope with these feelings is really important. Negative emotions can spread, and no one wants to be around a person who adds negativity to a group, right? So know what causes your negative emotions as well, and immediately start your strategy in order to interrupt the cycle. So you can actually stop and evaluate the situation. Do not surround yourself with worry and anxiety. Watch for early signs. Look at your mindset. Understand that things will not always go the way you want them to be, right? So you can also adjust your goals. Take a step back, reassess your position, and extend the deadline if need to. Pagka sinabi natin minsan 10 years, no, yung long-term goal natin or 5 years, nasi-stress tayo kasi hindi natin ma-achieve yung goals natin. Ang ibig sabihin lang dito is you have to reassess your position and extend the deadline if need to. All right? It's important for us to resist the temptation to blame yourself when things go wrong. Kasi pagka hindi maganda yung nangyayari sa buhay natin, right? We have this tendency na nagsi-self-sabotage tayo. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng self-sabotage? Self-sabotage is a quick and cruel way of stopping yourself from reaching your true potential. And this is often driven by negative thought. You have to talk within yourself, right? You have to tell yourself that you are not adequate, you are unworthy, or hindi ka magaling, hindi mo kaya yan, and so on and so forth. That is what we call self-sabotage. We have to avoid all these things. You can actually beat this self-sabotage by monitoring your behaviors, your feelings, your thoughts, and beliefs about yourself. Importante yan. All right? The next one, or the third one that we are going to focus on, is this emotional intelligence. You probably know people either at work or in your professional lives, right? Who are really very good listeners. No matter what kind of situations that they are in, they are always seem to know just what to say and how to say it so that people will not be offended or upset, right? They are so caring and they are so considerate. And even if we don't find a solution to our problem, we usually leave feeling more hopeful and optimistic. If you compare this person or this, with somebody who has a low IQ, the person might be so rude, not showing empathy, and would leave people demotivated. Do you experience this? Especially those who are working, right? If your leader or any of your manager has a low IQ, low EQ, then this is where pagkatapos ng meeting, walang solution, tapos lahat ng empleyado demotivated. Whereas, if you have someone, if you have a manager or a leader who has a high EQ, kahit wala mo ng solution, pero paglabas mo ng room, you are still very motivated. Meron ang daming pag-aaral regarding this emotional intelligence. I even attended this training, and it's not just for one day, matagal siya. And there's a lot of resources or tools available if you really wanted to build your emotional intelligence. May kasabihan nga tayo na mataas nga yung IQ mo, ang baba naman ng EQ mo. Pero what is more important? Is it IQ or EQ? It would be good if you have both IQ and EQ. So we probably also know some people who are masters at managing their emotions. They don't become angry in any stressful situations because they have the ability to look at a problem very calmly and they can easily find solutions. So let's try to look at the main characteristics of a person with high emotional intelligence. So there are actually 3 C's here that we can actually look at. First is consciousness. Being mindful of your emotions, being self-aware so you can identify how your emotions impact others. Self-awareness. Next is compassion. Being empathetic towards others. Having the ability to identify with and understand the wants, the needs, and viewpoints of the people around you. Importante yan, to be very empathetic or to have empathy. Number 3 is connectedness. The ability to be able to get along with others. these people can easily, talk to people, and they are being liked by so many people. So this is a sign that this particular individual has a very high EQ. That is what we are actually looking at here. So sum up our discussion. So sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, when we started this off, if you wanted to really develop self-mastery, it's important for us to be able to look at what is the vision of your life. How do you want your life to be lived? And there are 3 key things that you can actually look into. Isa-summarize ko lang. First, goals. 2 is focus. You have to have some concentration. 3rd is look at our attitude and our emotions. These are the 3 key things that we can develop if we wanted to go ahead, or to improve our self-mastery. Sabi nga ni Theodore Roosevelt, there is this quote na sinabi niya, courage, hard work, self-mastery, and intelligent effort are all essential to a successful life. So let us all remember na kailangan may self-mastery din, na kailangan na merong ingredient for us to have this, to become successful in our lives. Yeah. All right. So I would actually link this self-mastery into our next topic, which is all about the SWOT, or SWOT. You will definitely, if you are working, I believe you will be hearing this SWOT most of the time, because this is basically more of the tools that is actually used by certain organizations. So when you analyze yourself and your goals using these 4 elements, when I say 4 elements, it starts with SWOT, right? That's 4 elements. You can actually start to make yourself stand out and further develop the specialized talents and abilities that you need to advance your career. So it's important for us. You probably already know your strengths, your weaknesses, but you may not have identified the opportunities or what are the threats. So what opportunities that are out there waiting for you to pursue? Are there any threats that could derail your current course of action, or one that you deemed taking? So what is SWOT? As mentioned ko kanina, this is a classic tool that organizations use to analyze their strategic position. So if we apply this SWOT into our career or to other aspects of our lives, you can actually set yourself up to achieve your goals and to eliminate weaknesses that might undermine you or hold you back, and to identify opportunities to explore that you might not have thought of before. So we will be talking about this 4 quadrants. As mentioned, 4 quadrants: S for strength, W for weakness, O for opportunities, and T for threats. So let's actually find out more about this. All right, so let's start off with strength, right? Yeah. So when we talk about strength, what makes you stand out? It's not actually boastful to acknowledge your strength. It's actually practical and necessary to move yourself towards your goal. But are you aware of your strength? You have to ask yourself these 3 questions. You can actually do that, after this event or during your free time, but it's good for you to actually ask yourself, what am I really good at? What skills do other people compliment me on or associate with me? And what do I do, or what skills do I possess that is unique and sets me apart from my peers? So again, you have to evaluate yourself. Saan ka ba magaling? Ano ba yung skills na laging kino-compliment sa'yo ng mga tao? Or yung mga colleagues mo, or yung mga friends mo, laging sinasabi sa'yo, Uy, ang galing-galing mo namang magsalita. Pwede kang maging trainer, pwede kang maging motivational speaker, and so on and so forth. That is the skill that people compliment you with. Alam mo ba yan? And then at the same time, what is that skill that is so unique that sets you apart from your peers? All right? So again, ito yung chances natin of trying to assess ourselves in this area. All right? Next, action that you need to do. You have to list down. Kasi pwede kayong gumawa ng 4 quadrants eh. So gumawa lang kayo, mag-drawing lang kayo ng, ng cross. Tapos lagyan nyo ng S, W, tsaka O, and tsaka yung T. So gawa lang kayo, ililist down nyo lang on the left side, yung strengths nyo, and then sa right side, yung inyong weaknesses, and then O, yung opportunities and threats. So ito yung pwede nating gawin as an exercise. So since ako lang kasi yung nagsasalita, because if this is like face-to-face, we can do this as one of the activities, but you can just do that on your own or at your own free time. Yeah? So then let's move on. All right? So next is consider your weakness. What can you do to improve? Definitely, we all have weaknesses, and they can actually be things that only you know about it, or that you receive regular feedback probably from others, from your friends, family members, or from your boss. It could be a bad habit, or it could be underdeveloped skills. And weaknesses can stop you from achieving your goals, but you can work on them to improve your performance. All right? So let's look at these things that you have to ask yourself. 1, what do you lack that others around you have? And what could you do better? Many of us are masters of deception. Sabi nga nila, we cover up our weaknesses and hide them from others. Even if other people don't know what your weaknesses are, definitely you know it. All right. Then next is, are there things that you receive consistent criticism for? Number 4, do you have any habits or characteristics that actually plague you at work or at home? And what do other people see you as your weakness? So kailangan natin again, reassess ang ating mga sarili. It's important for us to get real about our own weaknesses. Don't beat yourself up over really small stuff. So konti mga bagay lang, wag nating masyadong pansinin. So you can actually look at what are these skills that you are lacking. What are these consistent criticism? Yung madalas mong naririnig na feedback sa'yo ng tao. So that is probably your weakness. And so on. All right. So what is the next action that you need to take? Similar to strength, you have to write it down. You have to write it down into the into your quadrant. There are actually 4 quadrants, right? All right. So that is basically what you need to do. Hindi na natin ilalagay yung kanina, yung slide. Kasi flash lang namin yun one time. Yung 4 quadrants, yung may S, W, O, tsaka T. So the next thing that you need to do is you have to list it down and write it down under the letter W. All right? Let's move on to the next. Let's look for opportunities. What is possible? An opportunity is an event. It could be a trend or a change that you could take advantage of in the future. You have to think about how you want your career to develop and grow. You likely want to learn and practice new skills, take on new responsibilities. Kasi pagka medyo matagal na tayo sa ginagawa natin, we have been doing the same job for 10 years, 5 years, 5 years or 10 years, and you wanted to learn new things or you wanted to accept new responsibilities. Sabihin mo sa boss mo, I think I am ready for promotion or I am ready to take on new responsibilities. But Opportunities to do so may not always be obvious. Minsan hindi obvious, di ba? Hindi sinasabi. So they could actually arise suddenly and they might not be around for so long. Sabi nga nila, if opportunity knocks once, you have to take it. So you need to be prepared to make the most of them. So you should also try to make your own opportunities. Waiting for exactly the right opening to come along may mean that you're gonna miss out something. So again, you have to ask yourself, how can you turn your strengths into opportunities? Saan ka magaling? Magaling kang magsalita? Magaling kang yung graphic design? Pwede kang maging graphic designer or you can do that on the side. Don't just focus on, kung ano yung ginagawa mo today. You can actually try to capitalize on. You have opportunity, especially ngayon na marami nang nagha-hustle, di ba? So you can accept probably like part-time jobs to do this on the side or, you can do this like sa gabi lang pagka hindi ka na busy sa work. And how can you create opportunities by enhancing your strengths? So you can actually attend courses. As mentioned, pwede tayong umattend ng mga free seminars or free training available. Ang dami niyan online. So all we have to do lang is we have to be very creative. At the same time, you have to also ask yourself, what is happening in your organization that may provide an opportunity for you? Kasi minsan, we don't really know what is happening in the company, di ba? So hindi natin alam na may announcement na pala na lumabas na, oh, we are going to open a new subsidiary somewhere else. Then, if you feel that you are ready and if you are confident that you can do the job, mag-volunteer tayo. Ako kasi is para akong, nung ako nagsa-start pa lang with my work, masyado akong pabibo. Hindi naman siguro pabibo, but I am very confident of myself that I can do the job. So for example, so meron kaming hotel na nag-open sa Dubai. Kasi I am trained to do pre-opening, right? So I always say, I'm interested to be there because I know my strengths, I know my capability. And this is where my company gave me that opportunity to go and open Dubai, for example. So when I opened Dubai, it opened other opportunities. I opened Bahrain, I opened Thailand, I opened Singapore, and so on and so forth. So you have to ask yourself, what is happening in your company na pwede ka pala na ma-involve at pwede mong magamit yung strength mo. So that is what we are actually trying to, to say here. Yeah. So next, again, action is the same. Dun yan sa quadrant na yan. So you have to list down, brainstorm your opportunities based on the pointers that I have just shared earlier on. Yeah. So this is just for your own assessment. All right. So let's move on to the last quadrant, which is threats. Identify your threats. What may harm you? Threats are actually events or trends that have potential to jeopardize your success. You cannot control them directly, but you can often manage it. You can contain or you can neutralize them so that they don't cause harm to you, and as long as you know about them in advance. So that is what we want you to know, by identifying the threats. So career threats can seem to be out of control, particularly if they are caused by strategic changes in your organization, for example, yeah? And there are problems in the wider economy. So maraming mga retrenchment, so it's happening, right? So that is a threat. But are we aware of it? Aware ba tayo kung ano nangyayari sa ating kapaligiran? Kasi kung hindi, then it will come as a surprise to all of us. So that is why it's important that we understand or we know what might harm you. All right? So the first thing that you have to ask yourself, is your current role changing or is it disappearing? Ang dami na ngayong mga tasks, mga jobs na parang nagti-take over na yung robot or yung AI. A classic example for my company, because I am in the hotel industry, right? we have robots. So yung mga room attendant namin, they are very worried. Are they gonna lose their job? Our answer is no. Even sa front office, may mga mobile check-in na, di ba? They don't have to go to the front office to the receptionist to check in. They are just, like mga kiosks that you can just do your own check-in. So, I mean, definitely some of the associates will be very concerned kung yung role ba nila will be changed or it will disappear. So, because we are working in a hotel, so this face-to-face interaction with the guest is still very important. So you can focus more on engaging your guests rather than doing the administrative task. That is what we wanted to highlight to them. Robot definitely cannot change, especially the emotional part, because this is where you are creating memories for the guest. Robot cannot do that. All right? So that changing technology threatens your position. Again, this is where nung mawawala nga yung ating mga position, ano? So are your peers doing things that you haven't started yet? Kasi baka mamaya yung mga kaibigan natin or yung mga colleagues natin, ano, they have upgraded themselves. Nag-attend sila ng kung ano-anong mga courses and so on, because baka mamaya kung hindi nila upgrade yung skills nila, ma-eliminate yung kanilang position or ma-eliminate yung kanilang job. Are we open to that? Kasi minsan hindi tayo tech savvy, right? But we have to learn how to be. Otherwise, the job or the position will disappear. So you have to really assess yourself. Is this gonna harm you? And what are we doing in order for us to be prepared? So that is what we need to ask ourselves. All right? Action. The same thing. List the key learning and possible actions that you have identified. Then categorize it, whether is it a quick win, something that you can do right away. If it's something that you can do right away, do it. Don't procrastinate. Is it a habit to change, or is it a behavior that you have to stop, or you have to start soon? And you have to be realistic and avoid procrastinating. Again, plan a schedule when you are going to do your analysis and put this into practice. Because if we don't act on it, then definitely nothing will happen. That is what I can actually share with everyone. All right. So with that, I would like to say thank you very much. It is always a pleasure to be able to share with everybody. So I love this quote, ano? Do something today that your future self will thank you for. Let us connect. I'm very active po in Facebook then, ano? So you can actually find me sa Facebook, which you can look for Mel Rose Angeles. So that is my profile sa Facebook. Yeah, so you can just follow and connect so that we can, have these connections and you can learn from each other. Yeah, so that is what I can share for tonight. Thank you very much and have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, po. Thank you very much, Miss Mel Rose, for that very lively, interesting, and very informative, a lot of information, and very informative presentation. Sometimes it just, when you say some of those things, then I think, look at myself, and then I think, did I do that? Or, did I miss that? So I think even the fact that I assumed everyone in the chat room are in Singapore. So even the very fact, the very question that the decision to come to Singapore, I think that's already part of the whole, one of that part of the picture. Should I go to Singapore? Should I go elsewhere? Or will Singapore offer me a better opportunity, or maybe somewhere else? So but it's never simple, So yeah, and so it's just it raises a lot of questions, and it gives an opportunity to look inside you,
Yeah.
what you really want to do. Is this what I
Correct.
really want to do?
Exactly.
If not, what do I want to do? Kasi that part sometimes it's difficult. I did not even know what to do when I was like, when they say you're in high school or in university. Oh, you know what to do? Say no. When even you start working, is this what you want to do? Say no, I don't think so. So there are people who keep changing jobs every 2-3 years. But I guess that's part of growing up and learning how to manage life as curveballs come. So yeah, it's very interesting po. Madami po salamat doon. I'm sure madami pa kayong pwede sabihin, ah.
Yeah. As much as I really wanted to share, but because we have a very limited time, and it would be good actually if it's a face to face, because it will be more interactive, and all those activities would really mean a lot to them as well, because you can also help them in a way, trigger them, because sometimes they really don't know how to start. I think what's key here is how to start.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, how to start. And once you started it, then you'll never stop,
Yeah.
And we are not trained po kasi na we have to really come up with goals, I mean, since young, hindi po tayo parang hindi natin kultura, or hindi rin tinuro sa atin ng ating mga magulang na, kailangan magplano ka for, yung lifetime goals mo, 10 years, and so on and so forth. So,
parang very, very highfalutin po sinasabi.
So parang tayo kasi is parang naniniwala tayo minsan sa kung ano na lang yung dumating. Oo, yun na lang, parang ganyan. So we are blessed na, we are given this opportunity, and so on. And if probably we reach that stage na nasa comfort zone tayo, parang hindi na rin natin tinitingnan kung ano yung opportunities actually And before we knew it, it actually leads to a threat. Kasi hindi mo akalain na, oops, magdi-disappear na pala itong task ko, magdi-disappear na pala yung position na to, and so on and so forth. And you didn't even know what are your key strengths, or what is your ability talaga, what you are really good at, na pwede mong sabihin sa boss mo. But then again, it can actually help, especially those who are working, You also have this mid-year and year-end appraisal, right? So I believe during appraisal, this is an opportunity for leaders or for your managers to actually tell you exactly ano yung area that you're very good at. And at the same time, ano talaga yung area that, you need improvement. Because I do that with my staff, and I really like very specific, so ano exactly, and then what is the timeline? So for example, my staff is not so confident in her communication skills, right? I would actually look at what are the courses available out there that I can actually send her, and by when. And then after that, I will follow up and will give her feedback. So after attending this, what have you learned? And so on and so forth. Yeah. So this is really very key if you wanted to start off with this, or, you wanted to really reassess yourself. I believe meron na, kaya lang hindi lang talaga natin nabibigang pansin.
Saka I think we're more shy. We're more shy than others. I think there are some other races that are more outspoken. Pero tayo, Filipinos and
Pilipino
Asians,
hindi
in
no?
general, no, they're usually tahimik lang, and then they'll do their best behind quietly. That's a weakness or strength, I'm not sure. But yeah.
Actually, kaya nga sabi ko dun when we talk about the strength ko, sabi ko nga dun kanina, sabi natin, we don't have to be, it's not boastful daw. It's not boastful daw to acknowledge your strength. So it's really good for us to actually tell them that, hey, I am good with this. Hindi tayo maghihintay lang na
I can do this.
Mapansin tayo ng boss natin. Pabibo tayo ng konti. Mga Pilipino, pabibo eh. To be honest with you, ang kagaling ng mga Pinoy.
There's no way, there's no denying.
Oo, sobrang talented. Pag binigyan mo ng isang task, medyo mahirap, pero kayang gawin. Kayang gawa ng paraan. Yun ang trait na nagugustuhan ko sa mga Pilipino. Yung madiskarte na word, I really love the word.
Diskarte is the word.
The word is madiskarte, oo. So, yun ang trait na parang we have this can-do attitude na parang anything we can do, up to the point na pag hindi na talaga kaya, then you shout for help. But of course, pag binigay sa atin yung assignment, di ba? we'll try our best to figure out how to do it and so on and so forth. And if you need resources, you just have to speak out
Yeah.
and so on. So, yung mga Pinoy kasi, yan yung natural natin, trait na parang tahimik tayo, mahihiyain tayo and so on. Pero dapat hindi. Iba na yung generation natin today. Kasi merong ibang, I don't wanna say kung anong nationality, yung masyadong vocal, ang daming sinasabi. Look at the results, look at the output, so it speaks a lot. So yun naman yung comment ko about that. Yeah.
That's a strength. They can be utilized in certain skills in certain industries. Kailangan yung ganon. Pero sandali po, baka hahaba. May mga tanong po.
May tanong.
Oh, yes. May isa pong tanong. What strategies can individuals use to overcome self-limiting beliefs? Ayun, parang pinag-usapan po natin yan, ha? And
yung parang self-sabotage, ha?
And then the other question, what are the techniques or how to overcome shyness when it comes to public speaking?
Oh, shyness. Okay, let me talk about the self-sabotage muna, no? Kasi itong self-sabotage talaga is a very this is a very big word, because we are really have this temptation na we always blame ourselves when things go wrong, So that is self-sabotage. So this is a very quick and cruel way of stopping yourself from reaching your true potential. So this is also like undermining yourself. So anong gagawin natin? Anong strategy natin to overcome this? So again, this is always important that you actually have to write down ano yung mga nararamdaman mo, ano yung automatic thoughts mo every time that you have this feeling or you encounter this kind of experience. And then at the same time, ano yung negative thoughts na nag-arise out of that? And then at the same time, you have to be very fair and balanced and objective about the thoughts and the situations. I guess what's important here is you should be confident of yourself. Kasi itong self-sabotage, sinasabi mo sa sarili mo na hindi ko kaya. I think hindi ko maa-achieve yan.
Dahil ganito.
Dahil ganito. Ang dami mong reasons actually nagbinibigay ka sa just to justify yourself that you cannot do it. Basically, you have to switch the mindset. The
cognitive technique dyan?
We call it the cognitive restructuring of your mindset. You actually have this, yung affirmation na sinasabi, you always have to tell yourself, I can do this, I'm good with this. You have to look at the mirror and tell yourself that you are good with this. You have to convert that negative thoughts into a positive one. So positive affirmation is actually key here. But the most important thing is you have to identify ano yung mga feelings, yung negative feelings na meron ka. Bago mo masabi na bakit nag-arise ito. So that you have to be very conscious about this. Yeah, so it's more of just changing lang the negative thinking. That is the best strategy, and always good to have this positive affirmation about yourself. That I'm good with this, I can do this. Yeah. So sometimes we always that.
Parang sometimes it takes practice then, like, okay, I am good at this. Yes po, I can hear you.
Yeah. So what we normally tell our associates, right? So like if you feel good kasi, if you look good, you feel good, you can do better. So we always have this big mirror sa locker, So once you change your uniform, you put on your makeup and so on and so forth, look at the mirror and tell yourself, I look good today. Then you smile. Then everything else will change. So it should start from that. So it's a self-affirmation is important. Because if you come out of your house na sobrang negative na, so what would you expect if you reach the office, diba? Yun. Yeah. So the other question that is being asked, ano nga po yung next question? Isang question pala.
Mga techniques po, what are the techniques or how, what are the techniques? Okay. Naririnig po? What are the techniques or how to overcome shyness po in public speaking? Nasa chat group.
Okay, so how to overcome shyness in public speaking. All right. So number one, you have to ask yourself, eto ba yung key strength mo? Alright? So, kung ikaw ay nagsa-start pa lang, mag-practice ka. Importante yan mag-practice. So, you have to rehearse. Then, i-record mo yung sarili mo na nagsasalita ka. Para malaman mo kung saan yung area na kailangan ikaw mag-improve. Tapos, start with small audience muna. Like, 3 or 4 of your friends. Tapos, magsasalita ka and so on. Then, if you are speaking in public, di ba? Meron kang nanginginig sa takot. Kasi pag nanginig ka na sa takot, na may mental block na tayo, isn't it? So pag na mental block na tayo, nakalimutan na natin kung anong sasabihin natin. Alright? So what is important here is, we know exactly what we are talking, the subject matter. Ano ba ang content mo? Because if you are very familiar with your content, whatever happens, hindi ka mawawala. You will not be lost. Parang ganyan. Tapos may mga mannerism kasi tayo na pagka kinakabahan tayo on something, right? Ang dami nating mga mannerism, which we, as facilitators, we can easily detect it. There's a training that they can attend on how to project themselves and how to be a good speaker. Because from there, may practice po talaga, may practice. So actual. Then when you do simple training, bibigyan ka ng small content, we will ask you to present, and then from there we'll give you comments like, how is your position, your posture, how you stand, how you walk, how your body language and stuff like those. How about your tone of voice? Is also important. Is it very monotonous? Is it masyadong mahina? Yung mga ganyan. Alright, so how to avoid shyness. Shyness. So kailangan kasi friendly ka. Kasi kung hindi ka friendly, mahirapan ka. Like, just be the first one to say hi to people. So yun yung number one na pwede mong gawin muna. Maging friendly muna tayo. Tapos after nun, marami na tayong kaibigan, di ba? So practice ka na magsalita, or pagka meron kayong mga gathering sa bahay, mag-volunteer ka, ay ako ang maging MC today, yung parang ganyan. So it can start from there. Yeah, so it can be developed. Yan. So pwede nilang gawin muna yun as a start. Yeah, hope I can, I can help them, I can coach them. So pwede naman sila tumawag sa akin, and then I can tell them exactly how. In fact, I also help people how to dress themselves, because if you look good kasi, it means a lot eh. Your image is key. So pwede po ako maging coach on on how to ensure that you have this good image, because whatever you present plays a big part, and it actually helps your confidence as well. Yeah.
I like that. I like a stylist. Kailangan po ng stylist. Okay, may isa pong tanong, are there specific tools or resources that can aid in the practice of self-leadership?
Okay. So tools, I think self-leadership, again, number one is itong starting point lang po natin yung self-mastery, So, kasi nga, pagka self-aware, kasi nga, kaya nga po siya self-mastery is, you have to be self-aware muna ng sarili mo. Kasi ang hirap pong mag-move forward if you don't even know yourself. Parang ganyan, di ba? So, I guess, dyan po muna tayo magsimula. And then from there, you have to, next po doon is, kailangan mong gawin yung SWOT. Mag-SWOT muna tayo. Mag-SWOT analysis po muna tayo. So, and then from there, you would be able to see ano pala yung leadership skills na kailangan mo or kulang pa. Yeah, kasi importante po yung may muna tayo may assessment muna tayo of ourselves. Yan. And then from there, and then okay, it's a mentor. Mas inaano ko po yun, nire-recommend ko. At my age po, at the stage of my career, I still have my own mentor. My mentor is, she is in the Philippines, but every time we call each other, I make sure that I can learn from her. And she used to be the owner of my ex-company. And we became friends. Can you imagine? She is the owner. And she's really very, hindi siya yung she would give you really like kasi minsan pagka yung coach mo or mentor mo, parang puro concepts lang yung ibibigay sa'yo. So the good thing about having a good mentor is for you to ensure na parang yung very practical na pwede talaga siyang gawin. Yun. So yun aking marirecommend. So if any one of them na gusto talaga na, mag-continue about this, they can actually reach out to me. For free po for free. Yeah. Pwede silang matulungan. Yeah. So yung aking advocacy to be able to really help and to become a life coach then. Kasi, so sabi ko, yung lifetime goals ko po, so when I retire, I really wanted to, to help people. And one of the things that I'm actually looking at is to provide free talks, parang ganyan, and really develop them. Yung personality development is very key kasi because it starts with your self-awareness and it starts with you. Because if you are so confident of yourself, you can do whatever you want to do in life. Because kung hindi po kayo confident, ang hirap mag-move forward di ba? And you need someone to really, help you to tell you that, hey, you are doing good, you are on the right track, and so on. So, kaya nga dun sa self-awareness o sa self-mastery, meron tayong sinasabing focus, there will be a lot of distractions along the way, for you to reach your goals. But you have to bring back to what is really more important to you, kasi focus, concentration. Especially nowadays, sa social media, ang dami, ang daming distractions So how much time do you spend for yourself?
Oh my God, they take so much of my time. Ano po, meron pa po, ayan, madaming mga tanong po ha. Huwag muna po kayong magsawa.
Ay, marami bang tanong?
At sa chat group po meron, are there any specific books or apps you can recommend in developing self-leadership? Tapos
okay.
So, makikita po nyo. So,
Sige
then
po, go
there's
ahead.
another one from, may iba po from Divine 𝗟𝗲𝗿𝗆. Ano po ba ang pinaka-mas mainam or effective pag nagsasalita? Speak what is inside of your heart or speak what's on your mind?
Oh, okay. There are two things po dyan. Speak what's on your heart and what is in your mind. Depende po yan kung ano yung situation, Kasi kung...
Saka depende kung sino kausap?
Depende po yan kung ano yung scenario, kung ano yung situation, and so on. So for example, if you are in the workplace, sa trabaho po, I would always say that speak your mind. Kasi you have your own thoughts, you have your own ideas that you just wanted this to come across. So that your boss or whoever that you are talking to is able to somehow comprehend ano ba talaga yung gusto mong message at the same time. But then again, so if you are talking with someone like your family members, yung speak with your heart or with your partner or, depende po sa ano yan sa audience. Sino po ba yung audience natin for us to actually say speak with your mind or speak with your heart? Yeah. Kasi depende po, kasi kung speaker po kayo at may certain topic talaga na kailangan yung pag-usapan, so you have to speak your mind, hindi yung speak with your heart, tama? So yun yung area na pwede nating i-check. So in terms naman po of yung mga tools or resources, whether there are books that is available. So ang dami po, ang aking best friend po is si Google, So, pwede po tayong pwede po tayong, or sa YouTube din, ang daming mga free na ngayon, na mga videos na pwede tayong makinig, So, sometimes kasi, pagka there are some people, there are different groups of people, Ako kasi is a very visual learner po ako, So, I can learn if, things are being discussed with me and I do it myself. So that is visual. To me, that is dapat nakikita ko kung paano gawin para matuto agad ako. Versus yung parang sasabihin mo lang sa akin tapos i-imaginein ko lang or something, di ba? So, para sa akin po, so kung there are people na mahilig magbasa, so okay po yan. Ang daming mga books. Ang dami ko nga books dito. Parang tumingin tuloy ako sa aking So,
library po ninyo?
So, aking na, meron po dito Magpa-plugging na tuloy ako. Okay. So, for those who really wanted to be a speaker, I have this book which is Talk Like TED. So, ang daming mga dito, ang daming mga good lessons or
Talk
good
like
tips
TED.
that we can actually take from this book. Talk Like TED. I was talking about emotional intelligence a lot, di ba? So I have this book which is emotional intelligence. Ito nga po is 2.0 na no?
Kala ko 3 na.
It keeps on changing. It really keeps on changing. And this is really a very powerful book in that sense. So ang dami kong books na meron ako. So,
may mga training programs mo ba? May tanong dito. May training
po?
to help to support domestic workers.
Ay, meron po. Kasi ako po I'm one of the facilitators.
Ayan, ayan.
Oo, yung sa Kaya lang yung topic namin dun is reintegration. So, pwede naman akong mag-talk, which is, I can talk a lot about personal goal setting. Yung meron akong isang topic or isang content ng aking training din na we will actually teach you your journey. Paano mo ano yung journey mo for you to be able to reach your goal. I also have this training which is personal branding. Kasi uso-uso na ngayon ang branding, So,
let's have another talk on personal branding.
Oo, I'm supposed to discuss that personal branding kasama dito. Kaya lang, sabi ko, kaya nga tinanong ko si Cecil, ilang minutes lang ba ako pwedeng magsalita? Sabi ni Cecil, 30 to 45 minutes lang. So sabi ko, ay, hindi na pala pwede. So I have this content
Ayan
then
which
is about personal branding.
Kung nakikinig, it's quite important kasi that's how you also make yourself be known.
Yes, exactly. So how do you present yourself? Is it very impressive? Is it impactful? And is it authentic? Yun. So, yun yung personal branding. So, how do you want to stand out from the crowd? So, this is personal branding then. Di ba?
Mag-blonde hair ka. Joke. Mag-green hair.
Pwede din.
Joke lang po, ha?
Kasi first impression po kasi is a very, first impression is lasting impression talaga eh. So, the first time that I see you, in the next 3 seconds, I can already make a judgment of you. Whether I wanted to, to talk to you, whether I wanted to work with you or not. So that is why we always tell our staff, so the moment that the guest goes to, the front office, in the last 3 seconds, you should be able to give that very first great impression. How do you do that? First thing is you have to start the conversation. You have to greet first. Don't wait for that person to greet you first. You as a person should be the ones to greet the guest first. Then next is smile. Very important ang smiling. Yeah? So that is key. Approach the person first. Then you have to smile. Then make an eye contact also is key. So ito yung mga, as much as ang dami kong pwedeng sabihin. Wala na yatang time.
Tara po, kape tayo, gano'n.
Yeah, so
meron pa ba
mga ginagawa ko na, para lang makatulong and so on. So this is not just for people na in the workplace because as a person, kahit po tayo nasa bahay lang, we have to also present ourselves very well. Kasi lumalabas din po tayo and how does people, see you sa labas, parang ganyan. So, kailangan klaro yan sa bawat isa sa atin. At sa paano tayo manamit, paano tayo yung choice of words that we would normally, use pag nasa labas. Be it sa labas or sa loob, it also plays a part. It's part of the branding.
Bigla akong napaisip, ano kaya impression yung Miss Mel Rose sa akin kanina?
Yeah, so that is totoo po yan. So the moment that people would see you, kahit pa the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you handshake, they can already give an impression of you. Yeah, even the smell, malayo pa lang. Kaya talaga kami, like if you are really working in a hotel, so lalo sa Pilipinas, masyado silang strict in terms of getting front office staff. Dapat ganito ang itsura and so on and so forth. Dapat matangkad. Well-groomed na sinasabi. Kaya meron tayong sinasabing grooming audit. Bago mag-start ang shift, kailangan i-check natin kung, may makeup ba yan, may lipstick, and so on and so forth. So that is one of the key things talaga na kailangang maging conscious
So para
tayo.
may confidence, and then we can, we can be more, we can achieve what we want to achieve with that confidence, no? And
Exactly po, exactly. Yeah, so so
Any
dapat pala lagi
comment?
ako mag-live sa Facebook ko, ano, tapos yung mga topic ko, ano.
Any comment or last
Kaya lang,
question
I'm worried
lang?
baka mamaya walang manood sa akin.
Madami po nasa more than 20 people eh. Wag po kayong aalis, picture tayo later. Pero any last question or comment sa mga nasa Zoom chat natin? Nag-enjoy sila manood.
Nag-i-enjoy ba sila? Salamat naman nag-i-enjoy sila tonight. Oo.
Cecil, any comments?
So, nakakatulong po yan sa kagaya namin mga speaker.
Cecil, any? May comment kayo? Question, no? Sino?
Wala, ma'am.
May tanong dito. Okay, thank you. May tanong dito. When is the next Bayanihan Talk webinar series po? Pasensya na po. We don't have a definite date yet kasi bitin. Ayan po. Bitin daw po, sabi ni Michael. Nagtanong pa si Prudencio kanina. Sabi ni Michael, bitin po. Okay, nanda susunod para may series tayo nito. Sige. Sige po, kakausapin namin si Miss Mel Rose kung kailan siya ulit may oras para sa atin. And
may bayad na yan, Miss Minerva.
Ano?
Hindi, joke lang, joke.
Sige. So, wala ka nang...
Miss Minerva, before we go po, pwede ko bang i-flash namin ulit yung yung last, yung how they will connect with me? Pwede po kasi sila mag-send ng email to me, or they can also, they can also connect with me in LinkedIn or in, wait lang so they can actually connect with me via YouTube or email.
Ayan.
Yan. So, opo. So, kung may mga katanungan po sila, pwede po silang, sa Facebook po, sobrang active po ako.
Ayan. Mamadali ang face lang ng mga Pinoy. Lahat may Facebook eh. So,
oo nga po. Oo. So, yun ang pinakamabilis na means of na yata ngayon, connections or communication, parang ganyan. Ayan. So, thank you very much. Nag-enjoy din po ako tonight.
Bitin daw ang chikahan natin eh. Diba? Ganun naman ang buhay eh. Magpa-picture muna po tayo. Gusto niyo mag-live, mag-video yung mga nandiyan sa chat.
I-open po nila yung kanilang mga
Pati lang ilong ko. May pinag-usapan yata ako.
Si Michael. Si Michael pala yun. Akala ko sino Michael. Hello, Michael.
Sino? Okay. Sino si Michael po? Yan.
Kaklase po yun ng anak ko nung nag-LSE. Michael Tayakta ko, di ba?
Enjoy na. Nag-enjoy po kayo sa usapan namin. Usapan.
Si Jenny Lynn, kilala ko. Marami pala ako kilala dito. Wait, inisa-isa tuloy yung si Maylina, nandyan din. Thank you for staying. Ayan.
Steph or Cecil, can you take the picture or something bago tayo mag-ending? Nasaan kayo? Steph or Cecil?
Stephanie, paki-on lang po ang inyong mga camera. Stephanie.
Sorry makatilang ilong ko sandali. Sandali lang.
Sandali. Okay.
Sandali lang. Okay.
Paki-open lang po yung camera, please. Okay.
Okay na? Okay na tayo?
Paki-open lang po yung ibang camera. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Okay na po.
Okay na. Thank you po, thank you. So, dito po, kailangan po natin tapusin kasi may oras po na. So, maraming salamat po, Miss Rose, Miss Mel Rose. Bitin nga, I agree. Bitin ang chikahan natin kasi meron pa branding yan, may branding pa. So, kailan na susunod? Sige, siguro once a month, pwede ba? O once in 2 months? Pwede natin gawing series. At may bayad pa. Sige, mag-ano tayo? Mag-course tayo. Yan. So, para naman may ano tayo, may incentive. Thank you po very much for that very wonderful discussion, and it's so relevant. Parang simple lang ang buhay pero ang dami palang mga nuggets dyan na dapat nating napapansin, pati hindi lang sa paligid kundi pati sarili natin. Kung minsan we take for granted what we have, what we know, what we are good in. Ako nung nag-aaral ako, hindi ko alam na mahilig pala ako magsalita. Actually, nung nag-aaral ako, nerdy, tahimik lang, homework. Ay, Diyos ko, ganyan ang buhay talaga. Anyway, di tayo natatapos. Thank you. Formal na ito. Thank you po very much, Miss Mel Rose Angeles, for that indeed very useful, vibrant discussion. And thank you to all the participants and all the questions. Pasensya na po, nag-one-on-one chikahan kami, di ba? Masarap, masaya, at magandang pag-uusapan. Siyempre, sa likod ng mga ito, we have Cecil and Stephanie. So thank you sa inyong dalawa. Alam ko, pagod na pagod kayo. And now, before we end talaga, we have a few more information to share para lang, bayanihan items lang po. So for any query, query or suggestion on projects, kung may mga topics po kayo, may projects na gusto nyo nagawin dito with Bayanihan Society, let us know. And this is the email po, bayanihancenter@singnet.com.sg, or call at 6474-3700. Yan po, wag po kayo mahiya. Ayan na. Apply what we just learned. Wag po kayo mahiya. Send us your ideas, and then we do what we can do. Okay? And then please like our Facebook, facebook.com/Bayanihan Society SG, and follow our Instagram at Bayanihan Society SG. We also have our YouTube channel, so please subscribe, and you can rewatch all the past webinars as well. Kasi madami na po kami na mga webinars that we have done since 2020. That's the start of our COVID years. So madami na po yan. We also welcome very much support through donations via www.giving.sg/PBSS. And also, you can sponsor, advertise sa mga webinars and projects namin. And so and then one of the incoming projects is our Bayanihan Walk 2024. Ayan po, save the date. We're going to have it in October this year. Tentatively po October 20, but we're still checking around kung may mga conflicts or anything. But it will be in October this year. So please save the date and support us with that walk kasi we also do need some fundraising for the society. We need po to raise funds kasi wala kaming mga fundraising. So thank you po. Thank you all very much for joining us today. And your donations, we do have Pay Now. You can use our UEN, which is T01SS0179C. So that's our UEN. Or kindly scan the QR code. We can do it now if you want. So we have our QR code. And so I think that's the end. We arrive at the end of our wonderful discussion on mastering. Ano ba yung title natin? Mastering ourselves ba? Oh, mali na naman sinabi ko. Self-mastery. Tama naman. Self-mastery. So that's a very good discussion. Thank you po again, Ms. Mel Rose Angeles. It's only the first of the series that we are going to have, right? Tama po, no? So stay in touch. Wag po kayo mawala. And so please keep well, keep safe. And this is 𝗦𝗲𝗿𝗆 signing off. Good night and God bless. Thank you.